Oh, Guinness.
You are delicious.
All right.
Hey everybody, Mac and Dama here for OCR Kings, and we just completed the Tough Mudder New England here at Stratton, Vermont. And what'd you think?
Well, new venue, location. It was like...
Mountainous?
Hasn't been here ever.
Ever, yeah.
It was like, and in fact, this is our 10-year anniversary for Spartan.
Yes, as a matter of fact, I'm wearing the original
That's right.
2012 t-shirt here. We have a video on that, as a matter of fact. I'll
Yes.
put a link to that in the description below. You
Yes.
should check that out to see the differences between
So our
then
very
and now.
first race was a Tough Mudder.
Yep.
It was 2012, and it was at Mount Snow, Vermont. So
Yep.
when this one popped up on the books, it was
Had to do it.
We had to come back.
Had to do it.
We had to come back to Vermont. And I mean, it's a mountain. It doesn't disappoint. The mountain was the biggest
That was the biggest obstacle of the whole thing.
Of the day. There were 3 giant ascents.
Yep. They touted this as the biggest, the highest elevation profile of all the Tough Mudders this season. Okay, it was on their website. So it lived up to the hype. Okay. Was it as big as and bad as, say, Killington here in Vermont?
Yeah, compared to like
No.
Spartans, Killington, no, but it did a great job, an absolute challenge.
Yep.
So definitely some of the other Spartans we did. I see you're wearing your 4.6.
Yep.
It's like I got this one today, but this is not my first. I'm actually at number 8. So that's right. You got to jump on board for the big win.
We'll teach you, not teach you, we'll show you guys, or we'll share a video on how to get these things. They've changed the rules. Okay,
Yes.
what counts and what doesn't.
Yes.
They were a little bit more stringent in the past. They're not so much anymore. So you can start to rack these things up. Pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Yep. So out here on the course,
I have to say, big shout to Stratton and Tough Mudder here, because they didn't send you through any of those damn switchback trails like they do in Tri-State, New Jersey, Mountain Creek, which I love so much, where somebody gets a machete and a pair of loppers, and you go in through the woods.
Sort of makes a zigzag trail forever.
There was none of that. There was none of that. All of the trails were legit ski trails, or like crossover trails for like access vehicles, access trails, or whatever.
So my only negative to that was it seemed like it was a little less Tough Muddery, as in a little bit less mud because you were on those hardball trails. But
Fair enough.
agree with you. It didn't feel like you're like, hey, look, there's us, there's switchback. So they did a great job. I thought the course was laid out really nice. It was like obstacles are the usual Tough Mudder flair.
Right.
It was like, I would say the biggest one to talk about would be what they did with Funky Monkey.
Okay, and I have a counter to that, or a follow-up, but yes, go.
All right, so Funky Monkey, we've seen it. It's in some of our previous videos. We have it from race last year at New Hampshire. But Funky Monkey, this time, they actually kind of closed off the first 4 or 5 rungs?
3 or 4 rungs.
And there's a rope hanging, and you can kind of jump at the rope, and then you got to climb up the rope and then start climbing. And then other people were trying to use the outside of the ladder and just shimmy, and it really doesn't matter what you do, just complete the obstacle. So that was just a new change.
A new twist.
And then on top of that, instead of having 2 circular inline wheels, so you just go wheel, and even at New Hampshire, we went to the pipe, and then you finished the pipe, and then you didn't get wet.
Nope.
This one was, you got wet no matter what.
Yep.
You rang the bell, you didn't have a choice, you
That
fell
was cool.
off. But the one wheel was turned horizontally, and it leaned a little. And one of our buddies,
One of our friends, shout to our friend. You were totally right. He gave us a hint. He goes, go.
He's like,
left.
when you transfer from the monkey bars to
Go
that
left.
ring, he's like, get your momentum to the left. It'll be so much easier. He was absolutely right.
So everyone will see once the all obstacles footage is up.
Yes.
Okay. I went left. You went left. What does that mean? Well, as you get off the monkey bars, which go up at an angle, okay, and you avoid or get choked to death by the rope, like I did, okay. And the rope was dangling in the water. That killed a lot of people because they jumped out on the rope and they went zoom, like splash. They were done. Okay, so you go up an angled set of metal monkey bars, and you have to transition to a wheel that'll spin you around. If you don't have enough momentum, you're just going to dangle there, splash, and go in the water.
Yep.
But the thing after the horizontal wheel
then the
was
vertical
a
wheel.
Yeah, and it was on the left side.
It was definitely
so you had to swing to the left side, otherwise you were going to miss it.
It was definitely offset. So yeah.
That was a pro tip. Thank you, my friend.
So what obstacle?
So it wasn't really an obstacle, but it was the end of the course. You ran through like the village. You ran through the Stratton town, Stratton Village. That was cool. Why?
I mean, maybe depends on when you went. If you were an early bird, it was still all closed up. So we went a little bit later today, so we could drive up here. It was like there were people cheering, there were kids out, there were families, there were spectators,
there were little kids.
There were people
just
just having lunch at some of the little spots there, and then there were just fellow mudders that completed the course. But everyone was just clapping and cheering. So yeah, we kind of kicked it into overdrive there.
Yeah, you had to run through there, otherwise you
felt it was cool. That was a really nice part of it.
Exactly. The people propped you up, and then there were people out. They were having some cocktails too, and they're like, "Beer's that way." So of course I'm running faster, right, to get there. So that was a nice thing. They put the tall Berlin Wall at the end of that.
Yep.
So you go through all of the hardball, and you go through that big obstacle there, and it was just really special and unique to this venue. I had never run through like a little ski villa.
Yeah, that was cool. That was cool. That was different.
So that was cool.
It was like I still love the Matterhorn. It's just
so massive.
Just
a really
huge
cool
obstacle. It's not easy to get onto. You have to kind of like arm bar yourself on and then swing a leg, and really it's like it's a full rock climb move. But it was like, that's cool. And then just the epic size of that thing.
The size of that thing is enormous. Think of like an A-frame cargo net that they quadrupled.
Yeah.
It's like a super tall. And they changed it from our Tough Mudder New England in 2021. So there was some subtle nuance there. There was no strap.
There was a strap that you could help make
your
that
own
next
effort,
move and get your hand around, and it was not there. So yeah, that was interesting.
So if they have it here again next year, I would come up here. This was cool. This was a cool time.
Yep.
So if you don't like going up mountains, this might not be the venue for you, because the elevation was pretty extreme for a Tough Mudder.
This isn't like an English town or Philly or one of the ones that's
right.
a little bit
flatter.
This is just, the mountain is definitely an obstacle. It's definitely a challenge, but I don't know, worth it. Pretty rewarding.
Totally. And it's an adventure. It's beautiful. Totally worth the effort.
Got the best day ever.
Absolutely. We really lucked out. So we'll hope to have the obstacle footage up soon.
Yes.
And check that out. Definitely check out our retrospect or look back, our 10 year anniversary.
What was your favorite obstacle? What was your biggest challenge? Let us know in the comments, because we'd love to talk to you guys. It's an awesome community, so let's just keep it going.
But until we hear from you, remember, as always, train hard.
Have fun.